guys! Today I'm just going to make a video where I just tell you kind of a story because we've been doing a lot of kind of very planned videos, very structured videos, so I thought we're going to go back and do something a bit more talky, I guess. And still to this day, my most asked question anywhere is about working in London. So I thought I'm going to try and connect that to what I'm talking about today. And today is about the worst job I ever had in London, and I've had a lot of jobs since I moved to London. I think I had about, I don't want to say something wrong, but I think about 6 or 7 jobs in total, and not all of them were like serious jobs, but anyway, let's just get to it. So the first job I had in London was actually an internship, so I'm not going to count that one because it was unpaid, and it wasn't really a job, even though I worked like 60 or 70 hours a week, but it didn't really feel like a job because it was what I really enjoyed. But once that internship ended and I knew I wanted to stay in London a bit longer, I needed something to make some money so I could pay my rent and stuff like that. So I thought, like most people think, and that is actually the truth, getting a waitressing job is going to be the easiest thing I can get, and then I can hopefully find something better. I never planned to be a waitress for a long time. I just planned to do it for a few months, get a bit of money, and whilst I do that, look for something else. But I just needed something on my CV basically. So I don't know why, but I thought if I applied in German or German themed bars, restaurants and pubs, I would have a better chance because I'm German. I don't think that's actually true, but back then I just was naive and thought that's probably a good idea. So I emailed one German pub. I'm not going to name names, but it's around London Bridge. It's not that hard to find out what it is, I think. And I emailed them being like, oh yeah, I'm German, I live in London now, I really want to work in a pub, bar, restaurant, whatever you want to call it. It was like a gastro pub. Anyway, they got back to me quite quickly being like, yeah, we actually are looking for someone. So it was like lucky, I guess. Then I came in for like an interview, which was really informal, and they hired me on the spot basically. I had the worst work uniform ever. I kind of knew what I had to expect because on the website I could see that you had to wear it. Insert a pic here. Yep. Oh god, it was awful. I had like different tops, some were worse than others. I still have one somewhere. It's, oh god, it's awful. And then you had to wear like an apron and just black tights and a skirt, and sometimes I would like just be really silly and do my hair really German as well. I was actually the only German working there, which is again quite weird. I was also the only one where the customers never thought I was German because I didn't really have a German accent, and all the other girls working there were like Polish, I think one was Italian, Spanish, and I think one was actually British, and that was that. So anyway, I started working there and I got paid fuck all. Got paid like £6 an hour, which is terrible, especially in London. And I never got enough hours, so I only got like, sometimes I only got like 12 hours a week, which you can't survive on that. You can't pay rent off of that small amount of hours a week. Also, I got emergency tax for like 3 months. It was just all really bad. And we had to work really hard. I know that waitressing is always kind of hard work, but Jesus Christ, we had to work hard. Like, we got in a bit early and we had to leave late, and I always missed my train home, the last train home, because there was no night tubes back then, and I always had to get a bus, and it took me like 2 or 3 hours to get home, and that's when I lived in dodgy Upton Park, and it's just all really, really bad. And I cannot recommend it, guys. I have so much more respect now for like service staff. I was never horrible to them or anything, but like I always tip now if I'm happy with the service, and I think I'm like 400 times nicer to them because I just know how horrible it is. That pub did do table service, so you had to go around, ask people what they want, serve them, come back to the table. So sometimes you'd be waiting on the same table for like 3 or 4 hours because it'd be like a big family table and they had kids there, and the kids would like paint something with mashed potato on the table. It was like all allergies, like, oh, my child can't eat this, can't eat that, can you, and like walk in the kitchen like 16 times, and we're just all fine, you know, that's my job, was my job then. But then to come back to the table after waiting on it consistently for 4 hours and they left no tip. It's just like, because if you only make £6 an hour, even just making a tip of like £1 raises your salary, you know what I mean? And I wasn't really used to the fact that people didn't really tip, because in Germany I think people don't think Germans tip, but everyone I talked to in school of my friends, because a lot of them were working as waitresses, waiters, they made most of their money off of tips. So when I first got the job here in London, I expected that I would make a lot of money off tips, but I really didn't. Like some days I would make no tip, other days I made like 10p. Sometimes we were lucky when there was like a really like a rich work party and they would leave like 60 quid. That would be good, but we had to always obviously split it between everyone working. So on big nights we would be like 5 or 6 girls working, so 60 quid divided by like 6 people is only a tenner. And we would work like, well, on Sundays we would work like 13-hour shifts, and then during the week it would be like 5 or 6 hour shifts. So they weren't like, during the week they were like fine shifts, but it was just so exhausting because this place was always rammed full and everyone was really drunk, and yeah, you just heard the same joke so many times and got groped a lot, and it's not actually funny, it was actually quite disgusting. And yeah, it was, I don't know, I came home, my feet hurt so bad, they were like burning. I had like beer everywhere because we had to carry these huge Stein or Mars glasses. They would carry like 12 of them at the same time, and they were so heavy. And then always some drunk idiot would always like walk into you and you would be like, ah! And yeah, just drunk people, I just can't deal with drunk people anymore. Just the worst. I had one more bar job after this job and I quit after like 5 weeks because I just can't do it. I just can't deal with like incoherent drunk people who are trying to be funny or trying to like, I don't know, hit you up or whatever. It's awful. So that is definitely the worst job I ever had in London. And the thing is, I think some people will be fine having a job like this. One of my friends, Sam, hey Sam, he worked in bars for a few years and he really loved it, like he really enjoyed it, because he kind of just saw it like going out and getting paid for going out, whereas for me it was really horrible. I really do think it depends where you're working as well. Like again, where I worked, it was just always rammed full and so much to do, not enough time, underpaid, working like more than you should and not getting paid for it. Just really horrible. Whereas obviously if you work in a posher place and you might be lucky to get paid more, people might be a bit nicer, more bearable. So I don't want to tell you that waitressing always sucks, but I just want to tell the story of the worst job I ever had in London. Once I finished that job, I quit after 4 months, I think, or 4.5 months. I quit that job and I got a job in an office, and even though that was also quite mind destroying because boring, it was infinitely better than before. Just like having your sleep rhythm back was amazing, because obviously before I would go to work at like 6, come home at like 4 and then get up again at like 3. It's just, it wasn't working for me. So yeah, I don't know how interesting this was, but I just wanted to tell the story and just kind of let you know that it's okay to kind of start from the bottom. And I didn't come to London and just had an amazing job and made loads of money. I still don't have an amazing job and make loads of money, but you know, I'm climbing the ladder, I'm trying to get there. And that's kind of what you have to expect, because a lot of emails I get are like, how can I get a job like in this and this and this field, and blah blah. People just expecting that I can just give them a website where they can apply and then tomorrow they're going to have a job, like a senior position in an amazing company somewhere. That's not how it works, guys. I'm not your recruitment agent anyway, so I can't help you. You have to Google it, and once you're here you just have to kind of fight for it like I did, and probably do 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of shitty jobs, fill your CV, and then try for something better. So yeah, that was that video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Do subscribe if you haven't and you like to be, because I make videos like this 2 to 3 times a week, and I can't speak. And give it a like if you enjoyed it. I'm using a new camera, by the way, today. I don't know if you can tell, but I can see myself in the little screen. I mean, I can't really see myself that well because I'm really short-sighted, but it's kind of interesting, so I can kind of see where in the frame I am. It's kind of helpful. Anyway, Thanks guys, bye!